Hello everyone. In this video, I would like to talk about how a cyber attack affected the M&S supply chain. Rana Asadullah would be covering root cause and what went wrong during cyber attack on Marks and Spencer. And myself, Junaid, would be covering the proposed solution and conclusion. Pravalika would be covering what precautions should be taken. Parth would be covering the effect of supply chain after the attack. Priyanshu would be covering Marks and Spencer supply chain. And Samraj would be explaining the supply chain chart, and Jeffin in the end would be the director of the video. Thank you.
Mark and Spencer is the big name in the UK retail, and they have thousands of stores across the world with 65,000 employees. Mark and Spencer also has thousands of suppliers in the world in 52 countries. So that means they have large and vast amount of global supply chain management. They are basically depending on the food, cloth and home-based product. If we are talk about the food sector, in food sector they are heavily depending on the UK farms and overseas farms. And in 2024, food sector generated 25% profit. And if we are talk about the clothing sector is highly depending on the India and China for the cotton and manufacturing from the Sri Lanka, Bangladesh and Egypt. So that means Mark and Spencer using advanced supply chain management to manage their deliveries and products. It is very helpful to manage sales in customer, in store and online.
Welcome to the journey of our products from raw material to your hands. First, it all begins with raw material suppliers, providing essentials like cotton, fabrics, food ingredients, and packaging materials. Next, these materials are shipped to component manufacturers and producers, where they are transformed. Food gets processed, textiles are crafted into units, apparel is stitched, and products are labeled. Once finished, the goods are sent to Tier 1 suppliers and consolidators for final assembly, branding, packaging, quality checks, and vendor certification. From here, they move to third-party providers. These specialists handle freight forwarding, customs clearance, import into the UK, route customization, and storage. Next stop, central distribution centers, regional or country. Specific hubs where goods are sorted, warehoused, cross-docked and tracked using RFID and barcode scanning with continuous inventory updates. From the distribution centers, products are split into two pathways. First, to retail stores across the UK, serving walk-in customers. Here, point-of-sale system captures sales data, manage stock levels, and trigger self-restocking. Second, to online fulfillment centers where online orders are processed and packages are prepared for shipment. These products are dispatched by courier and partners like Yodel, DHL, Royal Mail, and international carriers. Finally, goods reach in stores customers or are delivered to your doorsteps via home delivery or click and collect. From raw material to your home, this is the power of an integrated supply chain.
I would like to highlight performance of Mark and Spencer from 2022 to 2024. According to a report, in 2023, Mark and Spencer generated 11 billion pound and profit after tax they have generated 309 million pound. In 2024, they have generated 13 billion pound and profit after tax they have generated 672 million pound. That means they have surged in profit 58%, and mainly the sharp rise in the food sales and strong recovery in the online shopping sales. So that means in 2024, food deliveries generate 25% profit and home beauty and fashion generated other percentage of profit.
Now let's discuss about the root causes. Mark and Spencer suffered a major ransomware attack that disrupted its operation, compromised sensitive data, and exposed critical weakness in its cybersecurity. The attack was executed by a sophisticated threat group linked to Scattered Spider, known for high-profile intrusions through social engineering and identity compromise. Another reason is social engineering via service desks. Attackers posed a legitimate internal IT users and contacted the help desk team, which is operated by a third-party provider, likely data consultancy services, and convinced them to reset credentials, granting initial access. Posing as internal Mark and Spencer employees, they called help desk staff and convinced them to reset credentials or bypass authentication's control, granting the attackers to legitimate. Another reason is establishing foothold and lateral movement. Once inside via the Tata Consultancy Services account, the attackers retrieved the ntds.dit file from Mark and Spencer's Active Directory. This file contains domain passwords hashes. By cracking these hashes and exploiting the misconfigurations in privilege escalation and network segmentations, they moved laterally through the Mark and Spencer's infrastructures undetected. The attack is expected to reduce 2025 to 2026 operating profit by roughly £300 million across lost sale, extra logistic waste cost, and services dispersions. Weekly losses estimated at £40 to £43 million, including about £25 million from halted online fashion and £15 to £17 million from food sales impact. Mark and Spencer's insurance potentially covering up to the £100 million and aim to offset the reset via cost cutting and transferring the adjustment. If we talk about the sales and the market share effects, fashion sales dropped roughly 20% in the 4-week to May 25 compared to increase in 11.5% growth per attack. Food sales growth slowed to the 9.1% 12-week to June 14, down from 10.8% previously. Mark and Spencer lost ground to competitors. For example, Next brand increase in 4.8%, Zara brand increase in 27.8%, H&M increase in 18.1%, saw boost in fashion sales as customers switch shopping channels. Now let's look on the recovery and investors outlook. By July, Mark and Spencer expect online operations, especially fashions, homeware, click and collect, to be fully restored. Share price fell from 13 to 16% since April, erasing over 1 billion in market cap. Still, investors' sentiments is cautiously optimistic given insurance coverage and resilient food business. Mark and Spencer is fast tracking tech upgrade and cybersecurity investment to strengthen future infrastructure.
Let's talk about the disturbance of Mark and Spencer supply chain faced during the recent system outage. These events affected many parts of their operations from warehouse to customer services. First, their warehouse management system or WMS was encrypted and they went offline. That meant they couldn't receive our shipped goods, caused a backlog at our distribution centers almost immediately. Next, without real-time stock updates, their storage couldn't confirm online click and collection order. Many of those orders had to be cancelled and refunded, which upset customers' hurt trust. To keep things running, their teams had to switch to paper-based picking. This took more time and led to more mistakes compared to our usual digital process. Transport was also affected. The system that manages deliveries failed, leading to misrouted pallets and the delays at UK ports. On top of that, there were extra charged by some carriers due to those delays. In-store, especially busy ones, and some popular grocery items ran out. This not only affected sales but also damaged their reputation as many customers went to competitors to find what they needed. communication with the supplier became difficult too. Their automated portals were down, so the procurement team had to connect supplier manually by phone and email to update delivery schedule. For urgent stock, they had to book emergency air freight. While it helped fill the gaps quickly, it increased our logistic cost by about 15%. Finally, during recovery, their IT teams worked hard to restore the server from backups, and their main focus was getting the WMS backup and making sure all systems were safe and working correctly before we returned to normal.
What kind of precautions they need to adopt? Firstly, M&S must enforce multi-factor authentication for all vendors and partners. One layer of security is not longer enough. Even login attempts should be verified with multi-steps. Secondly, they should adopt zero trust approach. That means never automatically trust anyone even through inside the network. Every access request must be verified. Traffic should be segmented and access rights keep to the minimum needs. Regular security authors are also necessary. This should include quarantine, penetrate tests and segments which focus on third-party entry points. In addition, all vendors should go through mandatory cybersecurity training every year, including similarities for phishing and social engineering. M&A should also provide contract by adding cybersecurity service level agreements which set clear explanations and penalties for many not complaining or delaying response. Finally, the company should set up vendor security council under the CISO office. These terms would continuously track and manage third-party risk, ensuring long-term security oversight across the supply chain.
Our proposed solution is that M&S should start setting up a blockchain-based system to manage suppliers. For example, blockchain works like a secure digital logbook that records every action, such as new supplier joining, orders being placed, or deliveries being made. Once something is added to the blockchain, it cannot be changed or deleted, which makes it very hard for the hackers to fake or hide anything. So, this system would help the M&S to check if suppliers are real, trustworthy, and making it much harder for the attackers to pretend or to be someone else, like the thing which happened previously, the ransomware attack. And it would also make the entire supply chain more secure by keeping track of every change in real time. With this level of security, it would be nearly impossible for the cyber criminals to get into its system through vendor systems or tamper with the data behind the scenes. And I think the impact of this solution on the system would be very helpful. And it will be more reliable and more easier to manage. Even if a delivery is delayed or someone makes an unexpected change to the system, it would be flagged instantly. This means problem can be spotted on the spot, and it can be fixed at the earliest. Analysts estimate that using blockchain, I have got some data as well, that by using the blockchain, the companies can save up to £8 million every year by reducing the cyber-related losses and cutting down on fraud. So this is a very prominent change which can be done by using the blockchain. In the end, I would like to say that the Marks & Spencer outage showed how even well-prepared companies can be hit hard. Their quick response really helped to control the situation, but going forward, tools like blockchain could make the supply chain even more stronger. And thank you for watching. Have a good day.